let's get straight into the opening topic and let's talk about where Ricochet should go. Of course, we know Ricochet has now been added to the WWE alumni section on WWE.com, and we all know what that means. It means he has gone, he has left the company, but where should he go? And I've got a take for this, and I'm going to get into it straight away. I don't think Ricochet should go to AEW. I think in AEW, there are, multiple great matches he could have, but once he has those, I think he's just going to get lost in the shuffle. Instead, I think he should go to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Why? Well, New Japan Pro Wrestling need an established star right now. They have so many great young talents, but they don't have many veterans on their roster. Ricochet was previously with New Japan. He was in the Super Juniors, not the Super Juniors division, the Juniors division. And I think if he returned there as a heavyweight and, took on Naito for the title, hopefully Naito would try in this match. I think Ricochet could be a top main event star in New Japan Pro Wrestling and be somebody to really, push that brand straight back into the spotlight. But Clark, I want to know what you think about this. Where did Ricochet sign?
I totally thought I was going to agree with you on New Japan, and it makes a lot of sense for Ricochet to fly over to the pond, sign a one-match deal with New Japan, put on a banger, and then Ricochet right back across the pond and go to AEW. I think you're wrong, Ben. I think AEW is the move for Ricochet. It makes a ton of sense. Ricochet Ospreay's the money match. Go do something cool in New Japan. Find a way to make it even more impactful when you debut in AEW because it's a head fake. Feels too obvious now the next time we have a major debut that it could very well be Ricochet. So have that match in New Japan, maybe even have another independent match somewhere, right? There's plenty of great cards to go around. There's all kinds of good stuff going on. Couple of matches, Ricochet, pun intended, your way over to AEW. And absolutely, because I want to see him in I want to see him in Ospreay on a major stage. That match is too legendary. Despite some of the criticism of that match historically, it's too legendary. It's too legendary not to do on a major stage.
Yeah, you are completely right there, and I'll agree with you. But my opinion is literally the complete flip opposite to you. Because if he does go to AEW, I want him to go to AEW for one match, and that one match be Will Ospreay, and then Ricochet to New Japan. The complete opposite, right? But I do
maybe
agree.
He ricochets back and forth between both.
Maybe he does. Maybe he uses that forbidden door.
Around.
Yeah, does a John Moxley.
Between the forbidden doors.
Through them, all of them. Maybe he'll break down the other door into TNA as well. But Shad,
maybe it has a ricochet effect and other wrestlers start doing it. I don't know.
Oh gosh. Shad, what about you? Where do you think the one and only Ricochet should show up next?
So Ricochet is such a versatile wrestler where like any option we say, he kind of fits like a glove. And it is difficult to try to pinpoint one place. Obviously AEW is a likely place to a lot of people just because of the financial booking and the connections with Will Ospreay. Also, a lot of other great matches. I mean, him versus Penta, him versus Rey Fenix, him versus Danielson. Like, there's a lot of great matches there for him as well. But the issue that you brought up was he'd get lost in the shuffle as a star. And I think a lot of Ricochet leaving WWE is because he got lost in the shuffle in WWE. He didn't get booked to his potential being a main event-esque caliber talent that a lot of people think he can be. And the way to do that is the most old reliable, decision to go once you leave the WWE. It's going to TNA. And I've had my criticisms towards TNA, but a lot of my criticisms is the fact that they don't have a, superb, top-notch main event talent on the roster. They got a couple guys. Right now they got Nick Nemeth. They got Mustafa Ali. They got Moose, who we'll talk about later. They need to fill those voids, and I think Ricochet going to TNA can be that. I think he can be at the top of the card. He could also be at the top of the X Division. He's that type of caliber of an in-ring worker where he can work the X Division style. He can work the top of the card, potentially be a champion over there. And I think they have a factor that can benefit him because the in-ring stuff Ricochet does is out of this world. He's one of the best professional wrestlers, one of the best high flyers of all time. It's the character. And I think TNA does a good job with production, with creating storylines and letting people kind of rejuvenate and build a character. He has more free range to kind of do what he needs to do and let us know who Ricochet really is and have a brighter light shining at him. Like you see the stuff that Mustafa Ali is doing once he went there and the vision he had with his character. He's running wild and killing it with that. And I think you could do the same for Ricochet, and yeah, if I had to pick a place out of all those, it's kind of similar to what you were saying with New Japan. I'm going with TNA on the other side just because I feel like they could use a guy like him and he could benefit there. So I'm gonna go with TNA.
A great pick, no doubt about it. But you know what I'm gonna bring up, right?
What's up?
Last week you said that certain wrestlers were too big for TNA. Surely, if with that logic, Ricochet's too big for it.
Well, he's not at the big place anymore. That's the difference, right?
True.
It's the fact that he's not in WWE at the moment, right? And he is leaving. Like your moral compass and what you want to do is telling me that you don't want to be in the WWE because you feel like you have more aspirations that you want to fulfill in another place,
Good
right?
point.
There's not the taste is not being fulfilled over here, so you want to go try something else. And this is the beauty of it too. They got a working relationship with WWE as well. It's a chance for
Yeah,
him to
that's
kind of
good
get
point.
back into WWE once he rejuvenates himself, just like Drew did, just like Cody was able to do, not in TNA, but like in that same breath, like go to a place, build yourself back up, and maybe come back if you want to. It's his choice. I don't know him, right? I don't know what's going on in his mind. I mean, he's got his beautiful wife in WWE, and he's leaving the WWE, so it must mean that he wants to do something completely different because that, like, man, I'm married. Yeah, like being with your partner, and that makes it a lot easier, especially with them with traveling. So it must mean he want to do something else. But hey,
Yeah, no, I do agree with you. Clearly, that there's something missing for him, and WWE couldn't offer that. And that's why, other than the Will Ospreay match, I agree with you. I can't see how AEW can offer that if WWE can't, unless they're gonna make him, a main event star. We do have, uh, we do have a
that,
comment. I
that's
can't even show that comment.
he is quoting a bar that I said in a battle. Hey, salute to you, bro. Matt Williams was. I said it yesterday. I said a line where I said, "You're making me. I'm splitting hairs that I don't have. Obviously, I don't have hair." He's like, "You have bars," and I told him to watch my battles, and he did. So,
You did.
salute to Matt Williams. That's love. It's a Paramore bar.
Yes.
Yes, giving you compliments as well, no doubt about
Appreciate you,
it.
boss.
We need a diss track, Shad. We need a diss track.
Hey, Max Caster, I'm coming for you, bro. I told you the challenge is out there for a battle.
He's quaking in his boots. He truly, truly is. But Chaos, I want to get your thoughts, right? Not on who would win between Shard and Max Caster, but where Ricochet should go next.
We already know that one.
Yeah, we already know about that one. Sorry, Shad. No, I'm joking. I'm playing. No. Now where do I think that Ricochet could go? I actually agree with you, Ben. I think he should probably fit more into New Japan, but not the main promotion of New Japan. I think he should go to New Japan Strong, because I feel like they need a more a solid face for that promotion. I can't really see him moving all the way to Japan, because obviously is with his fiance, wife, whoever she met, Samantha Irvin. That's quite a big travel. To keep going from back and forth from Japan to come to spend time with your missus. So yeah, I think New Japan Strong is probably a more better shout. And then obviously, yeah, I do the sporadic appearance in AEW, because obviously you have that door to go through. And yeah, because I feel like if he goes to AEW, I'm sorry, the amount of people that has been quote unquote game changers, and they are just sitting in catering or just not doing anything right now in AEW, and they're filled to the brim with Ricochet-esque people. Of course, I want to see Ricochet versus Dante Martin. I want to see Ricochet versus Matt Sydal. I want to see obviously him against Will Ospreay. But with AEW, they can easily just splurge on those instantaneously, and then what? To be honest, I can't really see him as a potential AEW world champion. He'd probably be mid card like TNT and stuff, but yeah, like I feel like there's so much more out there than just going to AEW. So yeah, I feel like New Japan strong. You pretty much staying stateside with the potential to probably go to to Japan every now and again. And then have the door open to go to do AEW and other indies if you want. So yeah, I do agree with you, Ben. New Japan, but New Japan strong should probably be the best avenue for him for sure. So he's stateside and just safe there. So yeah.
I will say this: if he does go New Japan Strong, I think New Japan Strong will be more relevant than the actual New Japan, because I mean,
well, yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's in a bad place. It's in a bad. It breaks my heart to see the place that it's in. But you've got a world champion who doesn't try. I'm not going to get into that again. I had that rant out the other day.
Woosah.
On the meditate on air.
You did sound upset.
Oh, I truly was. I demanded he refund every fan in that building. But
that would have been a big tab to pay.
It would have been. And he was only on for like 20 minutes as well.
Pay back the whole gate. That's what you had.
Yeah, that's gonna be
$1 million.
Fork up the gate.
Nah, screw that. The way my bank account is set up.
That's one big wire transfer.
He gonna have to wrestle. They're gonna have to make him wrestle like 1 million matches in AEW.
You go to a Walmart MoneyGram each person individually for their ticket.
Oh wow,
he just did not care. Like, genuinely, like, there has never been a performance by a wrestler on AEW like that. I thought, okay, they don't care.
Fun fact, I've yet to see that match. Go on.
Didn't care.
Before we get to the next topic, you can ask Clark. Numerous times while we were watching it on the live stream, I was like, "This match is so boring." I was like, "This is the worst match of the entire card thus far, including the pre-shows, including the pre-show matches." I was like, "This is so boring," and it was late on the East Coast for me at that time. Also, I'm an old man, so I go to bed fairly early. But I'm just like, "Yo, this match is putting me to sleep," and I blame it. I had to rewatch Swerve and Ospreay again in the morning because I didn't get to appreciate it as much live, because that match literally was like taking melatonin, bro.
I was legitimately like trying to like keep it positive, and I felt bad. I was just sitting there like, at least Naito's facial expressions are still entertaining.
Yeah,
I was
no joke.
To, like, dig for like something.
Wow.
No joke. I called Clark the next morning, right, to be like, I'm not going insane about this Naito thing, am I? He just didn't try. And the Clark started trying to bring out facial expressions, and I was like, "Oh, no, he's clearly done it, isn't he?"
The one good thing was that the facial expressions were still entertaining.
Yeah, I told him his new name is Night, yo.
Yeah,
matches put you to night.
Really go night. Really go night, yo.
He spent more time taking off this 3-piece suit than he did taking the match seriously. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
put more effort into it. That's for sure.